All right, we're live.
Live and back.
Yes.
Oh my god, work's been a pain in the rear for me because it hasn't get. I've been working like 9-10 hour days, so for me to get back here, it's a lot harder than it is for him to record.
Yeah.
So the onus is on me with this one.
Yeah. We were supposed to talk about like holiday movies, but it's a little late for that.
It's been a solid month, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gotten bad. So we decided we're going to change gears and we're going to do something different.
Mhm.
And one of the things you mentioned was a problem that you had with kids shows.
Yeah, most kid shows. And to a degree, some movies are guilty of this too.
Yeah.
Um,
Which is that they're not being realistic when it comes to punishments and consequences.
yes.
Because the reality is, and I'm sure anyone who's watched this will tell you, when I grew up, if I screwed up, if I did something bad, where I did something bad and I got caught, I got a whooping.
Mhm.
I got my ass spanked.
Yeah.
Now, for some people, they would say, like, that's abuse, that's abuse. No,
No.
that's discipline. Because I was only hit a couple times. Abuse is when you're hit over and over and there's no stop. Discipline is when you're hit, but it's like, boom, boom, that's it. So I was a bad, I was a good kid, but I did some bad stuff, from time to time. And I still got, consequences because I wasn't going to learn that I made mistakes or I screwed up if I wasn't punished for doing something bad.
Yeah. I remember like being at your house once when you and Jake both got it.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it was for, but
I don't even remember it.
yeah.
But it was probably something that I deserved and I rightfully deserved and rightfully got.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But you and your brother used to fight a lot.
Oh my god, like cats and dogs.
Like, and it wasn't just arguments; it was like straight up like
Fist fights.
Yeah.
Fist fights. I knocked his eyeball out of the socket. He took out a tooth of mine, pulled it out with a pair of pliers or something like that. I don't know. But it was like, oh my gosh. Whew. It was, we whooped each other's butts. Heck, there was one time where he hit me with a baseball bat. We were horsing around. He whacks me with a baseball bat. I fall down onto the floor. But all my parents hear is a thud. They see one of their kids dazed on the floor. I think, because I ended up with like a concussion or something.
Yeah.
And my brother, he got his butt spanked. Like, it wasn't like 2 times. No, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And, like, he almost killed me. And he got his butt turned red. And sometimes we got our butt turned red with a ping pong paddle. It happens.
Yeah, and I remember you showing me that.
Mm-hmm. It hurt. It hurt. But that's to say, when it comes to reality, your kid screws up, does something bad, there's consequences for it.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we not see this in kids shows?
Yeah, like, I don't know if it's like...
Or even in other TV shows.
Yeah. Because one of the things, like, I hate the most about most, like, TV shows is when kids are allowed to walk all over their parents.
Mm-hmm.
And I know for a fact that one of my favorite shows, Once Upon a Time, is especially guilty of this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I noticed that. Like, the kids, like, what was it? Henry?
Yeah.
He'll do whatever he wants. And mom's like...
Yeah, and Emma and Regina will just, like, almost, like, straight up ignore it.
Yeah. Like, excuse me, you got a kid. It's like, what's it gotta be? That the kid's dragging in like a dead body and has a shovel behind him before you do something?
Yeah. Like there's one scene, there's one episode in season 6, I think.
I don't know. I stopped watching after like 2 or 3.
Henry and his then girlfriend Violet run away to New York, and there's no consequences for that.
You don't think there would have been like a manhunt or anything like that? It's just ignored?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, it's either when the consequence goes completely ignored, or the show will do something to try and get the kid out of trouble, which I also hate.
Yeah. Like the kid got himself into this situation. We'll help him out. No. Seriously. If I assaulted and committed assault and battery, my old man would let me sit in jail for a night. Let me get scared.
Yeah.
That is exactly what would happen.
There was a show on Disney Channel called Andy Mack. It was a decent show. Like it started out decent, but as the show went on, the character Andy grew into such an insufferable brat that
it was one of those ones where you just want to take him and just go smack him across the face, right?
Yeah. And there were multiple times where I just wanted to yell to either her sister or her mother to just be like, just freaking ground her already. Like, it drove me crazy.
See, I would have gone with the grounding, but I'd have also said, like, you're not going anywhere. You're not doing anything. And, take him into the other room and just...
Yeah.
Because sometimes there are kids out there that do need that physical discipline.
Yeah.
They do need it. It can't just be, oh, you're grounded. Because oftentimes I have seen shows where it's like, you're grounded. And the kid just gets away and does whatever they want anyways.
Yeah.
Which I'm like... I mean, I'm not telling them lock him in the room and throw away the key. I'm saying, no, keep an eye on them. I have only seen one show where it was some teenager had like superpowers or something like that, could communicate with like spirits or something like that. I don't remember what, but she got this call from her superhero gig that, hey, they need help over here. And she's grounded in her room. She's about ready to jump out the window, and her dad, who is on the lawn outside of where the window is going to, asks her, "Hon, what do you think you're doing?" And she's like, "Oh, just sticking my leg out, sticking my leg out." Dad turns to her brother, "You're gonna have to do my job for me." Like, at that point, I was like, yes, somebody get on these kids' cases and actually enforce your punishment.
Yes.
Enforce it. Don't just arbitrarily say, you're grounded for 2 weeks. What?
Yeah. And then that's another thing. And I've seen some movies do this too, where the kid will be will do something, they'll get grounded, and then it never comes up again.
Yeah. And then they just go back to, whatever they want.
Yeah. Which is why I went to see the Meg 2 when it was in theaters.
Yeah.
There is a scene where the teenage girl in that movie, she gets grounded, and
nothing happens, does it?
Wrong. Because at the end of the movie, she walks up to, I think, to Jason Statham and I think it was her uncle or something, and she was like, am I still grounded? I was like, yes, thank you. They actually acknowledged it.
And they said, yes, you're still grounded.
Yes.
Oh, thank God.
So
I would have just been paid. And just because of all this thing and you getting involved with this, you're grounded for another week. Good luck seeing the outside of or seeing the outside and touching grass. You ain't going nowhere. But I've been watching this show on YouTube called Blark and Son.
okay.
It's basically just puppets. There's one episode where Son lies to his dad Blark about, Blark's friend. Shoot, I'm trying to remember who it is. And Blark has a loaded 9mm in front of his friend's face, ready to kill him. Like he's straight up ready to kill his friend. And it's all just to put pressure on his son, who he knows is lying to him. But at the end of the episode, Son's grounded. He's not to play with his computer or anything like that. And then, turns out the gun that he thought was not loaded, that was just a prop. No, it was completely loaded. Come on, it's not like I tried to threaten you with a loaded boom. Oh my God, this thing's loaded. Like, it's hilarious. Then the very next episode, Son's back on the computer. Like nothing happened. I was like, what the heck? And granted, it was funny as all heck just to watch. And by the way, Son is voiced by Fish Legs.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yeah, Christopher Mintz-Plasse. So it's funny to hear Fish Legs and see his puppet like squirming at the thought that Blark's friend is about to get shot and killed. Like, it's absolutely hysterical. The show is funny, but that's that's an adult show. It's a show that's dealing with what is it? Adults and kids, but the kids are like middle schoolers, like 12 and a half, 13 years old. However, nothing happens. Nothing happens to Son. Like, whatever his punishment was, it's gone away now. Like, it's back to square one. I'm like, no, I want to see this world building. Like, they did a little bit of that by having the old neighbors move out. Don't know who the old neighbors were. And move in some new neighbors. And the new neighbor is a single dad with an adopted son. And is a struggling, failing psychologist.
Yeah. And, the thing is that, like, a lot of the shows from, like, the 90s into, like, the early to mid 2000s didn't have this problem.
Really?
Yeah.
Like which shows? Did Jackie Chan Adventures ever touch on this?
Yes.
Okay.
And there are episodes where Jade got in trouble, and most of the time he got punished.
Mm-hmm. Because that's the thing. Even Jackie Chan knew, like, kids are going to get in trouble. You got to discipline them. If you let them do whatever they want, they're going to walk all over you.
Yeah.
Because it won't be you raising your kids. It'll be your kids raising you.
And that's another thing I hate. Is that for some reason, with a lot of these, like, family sitcoms, it almost always feels like the kids are raising the parents.
Good example of that in Family Guy.
Yeah.
Like, you've got, to be fair, Seth MacFarlane knows that Peter, the main character, Peter Griffin, is an absolute moron and an idiot. Was even labeled as a retard. Which, when you've got, and he acts like a child, like all the freaking time, and it's so stupid. It is, where you've got the kids acting like normal teenage kids trying to deal with the fact that their dad is a moron and doesn't work very hard.
Yeah, and I would say,
But I would equate Peter to being a child because whatever he does, there's almost no punishment whatsoever.
right.
Or it's an extreme, but that's a joke.
Yeah, I would say a good example of a show that actually does this kind of thing right is The Simpsons.
Really? What episode?
Because, well, I haven't like completely seen the show. I've seen clips of it.
Yeah. It's a long show.
Yeah. I wasn't allowed to watch The Simpsons growing up.
Oh, I was when I was growing up because it was on Sunday.
But I've seen clips of Bart like actually getting punished.
Well, yeah, but I've also seen clips of Bart getting strangled. Like, why you look? But yeah, there have been a couple times I've seen Marge, the mom, actually discipline Bart, where it's like, no, you're done. Go to your room.
Yeah.
And sad music because Bart got in trouble. It's like, you're a troublemaker. The fact that mom hasn't whooped you, and yet your dad goes for the extreme of choking you is like, woo. Oh my goodness.
Another show I feel actually does this kind of thing right. Lilo and Stitch the series, where there are episodes where both Lilo and Stitch will get in trouble and they will be punished. If you haven't seen that show, I recommend it.
I've seen like some episodes. Like I remember the one time where who was it? Myrtle talked smack about Lilo's mom.
That was
and Stitch was just like, okay.
Yeah, that was from Lilo and Stitch too, but that was a great scene.
Like, I'm sorry, she had it coming. She straight up had it coming.
Yeah. Don't get me started on Lilo's teacher though. Like,
but didn't Nani like ground Lilo a couple times or something like that?
Yes, she has.
And she had, and Lilo couldn't do anything.
Yeah. But to kind of I guess I get back onto the subject of corporal punishment for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen several episodes of sitcoms where the kid will get in trouble. The parents will talk about spanking them, and then they don't go through with it. And God,
stuff like that annoys me. It really does.
Opting to go for either a different punishment or they'll just like, oh my God, like I hate that so much.
Right. I agree. Yeah. You're not going to hear me say, no, it's fine. I'm like, no. Like, I remember watching, I haven't watched a whole lot of TV, at least, TV, not streaming, TV.
Yeah. To say you're going to spank the character and then do it off screen is, I feel like, such a cop out.
Mm-hmm. It is. Like, if you're going to do it off screen, at least have the sound effect of, like, bang!
Yeah.
Just so that everyone knows, because that's the thing. You don't have to show it, but you can tell us by the sound.
Yeah.
Because that would mean, like, boom! They got their butt smacked. Yeah. And then have them come out like, ow! Like, pants around their ankles, they're holding their butts, they're waddling in their underwear. Just something for the parents, so they're like, yeah.
Yeah, like I can understand if it's like showing it off screen, if it's something like that might be like a little too graphic.
Yeah, or even something that might trigger people. I don't know, because I'm learning that there are a lot of things out there where people get like triggers. Like there are a lot of trigger warnings for stuff like sexual assault or rape or something like that.
Yeah.
Or even like physical trauma. Physical abuse.
Yeah. Yeah. That, and when the character is about to get spanked and then the camera like pulls away, like then it just feels like you're afraid to show it.
Yes.
So another example. Okay, so I've been going through every movie that's been nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah, how's that coming? You've been slowly working through that for months now, right?
Yes, I'm on the year 1943.
Oh my God!
Yeah. One of the movies I watched was Captain's Courageous. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't. You're talking movies that I haven't seen at all.
Captain's Courageous is about this kid who he's living the rich life, and then he gets thrown overboard from his father's ship and rescued by a group of fishermen who teach him the value of hard work and stuff like that.
Yeah. Because he's going from a cushy life, life in the lap of luxury.
Yeah.
And easy street to now, hey, you're on the school of hard knocks.
If it weren't for Spencer Tracy's performance and his relationship with Harvey being the saving grace, I would have absolutely freaking hated this movie.
Really? It was that bad? Wow.
Because of how much I absolutely despised Harvey as a character.
Harvey being the kid.
Yes.
Let me guess. Snotty, bratty, just, my father would never let me do that. Well, your father isn't here now, is he?
Yes. And that isn't even a half of it.
Really? That's like scratching the surface there?
Yes.
Oh! I'm gonna have to, this sounds like a bad movie.
Oh my God. To give you a detailed description of what this kid was like, it opens with him demanding the butler to bring him breakfast in bed.
I mean, it's a butler, but at the same time, have some self-respect for yourself.
Yeah. Then, when he's in the car on his way to school, he bribes one of his friends into taking a book, and then lies to him about that if he doesn't take it, he won't be allowed into this club. Then he does the same thing to one of his teachers, and
that sounds like a case where the kid needs a butt whooping. I can see why this kid did he get pushed overboard?
He fell overboard.
Oh my God, he should have been pushed.
But I'll get to that.
He should have been pushed, plain and simple.
But then he does the same thing to one of his teachers, and then acts like he's the victim. And then when he finally does get punched by one of the students, he plays the same victim card.
At least somebody punched him.
Yeah.
Because I was about to say, if somebody wasn't going to do it and I saw that, I'd be like, because I will say this about actors. He played that so spectacularly to be that big of a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Like, credit. That's a master of their craft. Good example. Who played Dolores Umbridge from Harry Potter 5?
Imelda Staunton.
Yeah. Like, she has gotten fan mail. Everyone's saying, you performed that role so well. We loved it. We hated your character because of your performance. And the fact that even she was like, this is vile. Like, she was throwing up because of all that she had to do. But she was so glad to be done with that role.
Yeah. And then when...
But of course, I'll use that as an example. She didn't get punished. She didn't really get punished. She got rescued by the Ministry from the Centaurs. And then put in another position of power. I'm like, nothing happened to this woman. She tortured students.
Okay, so then after Harvey falls overboard from his father's yacht, after having one too many milkshakes from convincing the bartender to let him and a couple of other kids in early before opening.
For milkshakes, yeah, those are special milkshakes.
Yeah. He falls overboard, and then is rescued by a fisherman played by Spencer Tracy. And then, as soon as he gets onto their ship, onto this fisherman's ship, he complains, he accuses them of kidnapping him.
Oh my God.
And, like...
This is Captain's Courageous?
Yes.
This is a 1937 film.
Yeah.
An adventure western. Spencer Tracy, Bartholomew, Melvin Douglas. When spoiled Harvey Cheyenne is suspended from boarding school, his businessman father takes him to Europe on a business trip. When the rebellious lad falls overboard from the steamship, he's saved from death by humble fisherman Manuel Fideo. Spencer Tracy enforced by the captain of the fishing schooner, Lionel Barrymore, to become a low-ranking member of the ship's crew alongside the captain's own son, Mickey Rooney. Freaking Mickey Rooney. Oh, it was Spencer Tracy there.
Yeah. Yeah. This kid, had me so pissed off.
And you said it was 43. This movie was made in 37, dude.
I know. I didn't know.
Oh, you meant that you watched this on the way over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But dude, you're at 1943 now?
Yeah.
How many movies were nominated for Best Picture back then? I thought there would have been like a couple or something like that. You'd be in like the 1950s, 1960s. No, you're still in the 40s. I'm like, holy smokes. It's a coming-of-age classic with exciting action sequences. As great as the Mutiny on the Bounty. Oh my gosh. But look at that. Budget was $1.6 million. It cleaned up $3.1 million at the box office. Wow.
Yeah, like Spencer Tracy was really the only reason I actually liked this movie. because at least Harvey did actually learn a lesson.
Oh, he did?
Yes.
What did he learn? The
The
value of hard work
yeah,
and
pretty
being
much.
honest?
Yeah. Yeah, because there's a scene in the movie where Harvey and Spencer Tracy have like a fishing contest with a couple of other fishermen, and um, Harvey cheats, but he owns up to it.
Really?
Yes.
Like, he learned that he cheated. It's like, this is wrong.
Yeah.
Why the heck doesn't Dad teach him that?
Yeah.
As you can see, we do have a big problem with these kids shows where discipline doesn't seem to be shown or enforced.
Right. Yeah. A couple other examples of that are Arthur. You watched Arthur, right?
Yeah.
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 Arthur and especially Caillou.
Now, for Arthur, was it DW that
It was DW.
Oh,
yeah.
my God, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Caillou getting whatever he friggin' wanted. The running joke is Caillou gets whatever he wants. Dad is just like, okay, Caillou. I'm like, I'm like, no, Caillou, shut the heck up. You ain't getting that.
Yes. Yeah. So, the lesson, I think, that most kid shows like are lacking is that yes, it is important to like do the right thing,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes doing the right thing can also come with consequences.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know that. For instance, I recently I lost my Jetta. I had to get a new car.
Okay.
My last car, a 2013 Volkswagen Jetta, ended up getting towed because of me. Because I screwed up. I owned up to it to the insurance company. Am I going to pay a consequence for that? Yes. Yes. My insurance rates are going to go up a little bit. But you know what? I'd rather be honest and own up to the fact that, I screwed up.
Yeah.
So now my 2013 Jetta was totaled, deemed a total loss. And I now have a new car, and it's a 2021 Toyota Corolla. I'm financing from the dealership. It's a really nice car. I like the heck out of it.
Yeah. It's when the consequences go almost completely ignored that's when it becomes a problem.
Yeah. I can agree with that.
Yeah. I have an Incredibles 2 comic.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about Violet meeting another superhero, a superpowered individual at school.
Mm.
But then she becomes involved. She gets put into this situation where she finds out that this kid's father is a supervillain.
Oh.
And unknowingly, she was working with. She didn't know that the daughter was kind of an accomplice. But this other kid convinces Violet to not only lie to her parents, but also start sneaking out at night.
Ooh.
And while she does technically learn a lesson, and she does own up to her parents,
Mm-hmm.
she doesn't receive any consequences for that.
What the frickin' heck?
So, it's like, this would have been better if Violet had actually been punished.
I think what needs to happen is there needs to be a change in Hollywood and TV shows. It's that discipline your kids, enforce the consequences, like actually enforce it. If that means you build your world a little bit by having the character, grounded or not in the show for like a couple episodes to show there's a passage of time, this has happened, they're in trouble.
Yeah.
Then do it.
Yeah.
I think that would make it more authentic. I would watch a show about that.
Yes.
Because, I mean, shoot, I still go back. I still watch Cheers. And it's fun. It's fun to see that, throughout the show, they're all grown adults. Mm-hmm. But even so, like, there's a sense of world building. Mm-hmm. Like Norm, for example, the guy who drinks a whole lot. And he hasn't paid his tab. Just doesn't pay his tab. You see him try to convince this other bartender, like, oh, see, that right there means it shows how many beers I drank and how many I get for free. Sam, the bartender, the owner, says, like, nice try. It's like, Norm, no, that's not how this works. You either pay up some of your tab or you get the heck out, buddy.
Yeah. Friends had a spin-off show named Joey.
Yeah.
And there's an episode where Joey I think he gets cast in like some movie, and there's this kid who's being like a total brat. Mm-hmm. And Joey spanks him. And they actually show it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, clothes around the bottom, he just goes, BAM!
Yeah. Yeah. And then later on in the episode, the kid comes back to Joey and he's like, you know what? I deserve that.
Which is rare for a kid to actually come forward and say that. Because I will say, like, I didn't deserve that. Now I'm older. No, I deserve that.
Yeah. 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 And actually, like thanks, Joey, for doing it. Like,
mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, that's something that I want to see. I want to watch something like that. No, but I can't really talk about this much more. We've talked quite a bit about it.
Yeah. Honestly, I could go on forever.
I unfortunately cannot because I actually gotta get home. I gotta get out of my work clothes because I came straight from work to here.
So should we end this a little bit early?
Yeah, let's end this a little bit early. What should we talk about next time?
Yeah, have any ideas?
There ever a TV show about the trades or something like that?
I know there are a lot of shows that do talk about like more like serious issues.
Yeah.
So we could go into that.
I think we could do that because there's actually two movies that I remember seeing. Liar, Liar, and Mrs. Doubtfire. They're talking about a father's role in their kids' lives.
Oh yeah.
And Kramer, during and post divorce, and the implications that a divorce has.
Okay.
So I could talk about that stuff.
Yes.
Because there's three movies right there: Liar, Liar, Mrs. Doubtfire, and Kramer versus Kramer.
Yeah. I just saw the Mrs. Doubtfire stage play, and it was great.
Oh, the musical?
Yeah.
It looks like it's fun. Yeah. Who plays Mrs. Doubtfire?
Rob McClure.
Nice. Fun fact: I actually managed to find Mrs. Doubtfire on VHS tape for a quarter.
Wow.
This was a store that was going outside. I said, I'll poke my head in and see what that. Oh my God, Mrs. Doubtfire and Casablanca, both are a quarter. I'll take these. Because they're like, oh, he doesn't. I've got a working VCR. Try me. I still will not give that up. Like ever. But yeah, next time we'll talk about Liar, Liar, Mrs. Doubtfire, and Kramer versus Kramer with the
The divorce allegory. Yeah.
Divorce allegory. All right. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out our Discord, and we will see you guys
Next time.
for the next show.
Yes. When should that be?
I can shoot for next week on Friday.
Yeah,
we bear with us. We got to figure out our schedule here.
Yeah, because I'm actually going out of town.
Oh, where are you going?
Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, very nice. You gonna see some family?
Yes,
Woo.
and I'm going to be gone until the 10th.
Oh, you're gonna be gone until February 10th.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, starting next week?
On the 3rd.
Oh, from the 3rd.
Yeah.
Oh, so it'll be like February 2nd. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, let's shoot for February. Oh, shoot. You know what? Let's shoot for February 1st.
Okay, we'll do that.
We'll shoot for February 1st because I know on the 2nd my girlfriend wants to go to Columbus.
Oh, wait. I think I'm working February 1st.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. But what time? 1:15 on February 1st to 8:30.
Do you want to shoot for like after you get back from the trip?
Yeah.
Let's shoot for after you get back from the trip.
Okay.
So, we'll see you guys in a couple weeks.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. All right.